another year in another set of duels, with one being super boring and nothing happening, and the other being really exciting and chaotic with either crashes or a crazy finish. The first duel, Joey Logano won. He just beat Christopher Bell by that much, so it was actually a really fun finish. Nothing else really happened in that duel. Zane Smith made it into the Daytona 500. Really happy for him. Front Row Motorsports. They got single file, 2 different pit strategies. The Chevys pitted earlier, and then the Fords were able to catch the draft and almost lap them. Then they pitted, and they were so far ahead, like 8 seconds ahead of the Chevys, and nothing else really happened until the last lap when everyone started trying, and Christopher Bell made it interesting. He got up there, he was side by side, but Joey Logano had his teammate Ryan Blaney pushing him to the line. Logano was able to edge out Christopher Bell. That really is the first duel. There's not much else to talk about. Zane Smith is in. Joey Logano won the duel. Alex Bowman didn't crash, so he's still on pole. That's it. Second duel. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is one of the crazier duels that you'll see. 8 laps in, there was a caution. A window, like the right side window, flew out, caused a caution, and that, in a sense, changed the whole race. You don't have to pit halfway through the duel. You pit during that first caution, so on about lap 10, you're able to maybe stretch it to the end, maybe not. But 20 to go or so, Daniel Suarez is pushing Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch has been leading this whole thing. His first race with RCR, his first super speedway race with RCR at least. He's looking good. He's looking fast. About halfway down the backstretch, Daniel Suarez hits Kyle Busch at the wrong angle. Kyle Busch goes crashing. And sure, this is just a qualifying race, but it's a lot more than that to those open cars. Austin Hill, Travis Pastrana, and Conor Daly. Conor Daly was done. His car was broken. He's a lap down early in this race. Everything is going wrong. It takes a miracle for him to make the Daytona 500 at this point. That miracle came off the front bumper of Daniel Suarez, because Kyle Busch gets dumped by Daniel Suarez halfway down the back with 20 to go. Everyone scatters, smoke everywhere, Kyle Busch spinning out of control. And all of a sudden, the 2 cars that Conor Daly has to beat happen to get caught up in this wreck and cannot continue in the race, and Conor Daly makes the Daytona 500 for the money team. So, yeah, and even crazier, that was the craziest part by far. That crash happening, it shouldn't have happened. It's a qualifying race. There's no need to push so aggressively. And Suarez, I get that there's nowhere you can go. You don't want to pass him right there because it's too early, but you know you have him at a bad angle. You're not lined up to his bumper. I don't know what else he could have done, so you can't really 100% fault Suarez. Say, yeah, that's 100% Daniel Suarez's fault. He's wrong. He should have not done that. What else was he going to do, really? But at the same time, he nailed him at the wrong angle, and that's what triggered the wreck. And that's what caused the problems. And Todd Gilliland almost proving his boss is wrong. Remember, he got demoted essentially from full-time to part-time. He's only running 30 races or so for Front Row this year. And he took the white flag as the leader. He led those last few laps, was looking really good. Going into turns 1 and 2, just like with Suarez and Busch, Kyle Larson hits Todd Gilliland at the wrong angle, but Todd made a fantastic save. Like Kyle Busch, I think it was the 2012. I can't remember if it was a duel or the Bud shootout, but Kyle Busch spinning, wrecking, somehow saves it. Todd Gilliland did that. Rally for a 7th place finish, but still Todd Gilliland could have been winning this thing, but that essentially just screwed everything up. Everyone's scattered. Everyone's on the brakes or avoiding the wreck, and no one was lined up at that point to really get a run. And Aric Almirola, he hadn't run away with it, but no one was going to get a run on him. So that essentially ended that duel. A thrilling race, a lot of excitement and drama with a dull finish, whereas the other one was a very dull race with an exciting finish. So, yeah, as I said, Conor Daly making the Daytona 500 in the most chaotic way possible. Miraculous fashion, really, with absolute chaos and disaster happening in front of him that he kind of needed to happen. Heartbreak for Austin Hill. Travis Pastrana had already locked in on speed, but Austin Hill had to just beat Conor Daly. Conor Daly had to beat both cars. Austin Hill just had to beat Daly. And unfortunately for Austin Hill, got caught up in that wreck and no Daytona 500 start for him. So it sucks for them, but on the bright side, in terms of a NASCAR fan, Conor Daly makes the Daytona 500. The IndyCar driver is going to make his first Daytona 500 attempt. On the other side of things, Zane Smith, solid race for him. He did everything right. Chandler Smith had a speeding penalty. That kind of screwed up his day, but other than that, Zane Smith was in front of him most of the race, and he makes the Daytona 500. So not really much else to talk about in the duels. The lineups are set. The results of Duel 1, that's going to be the inside row. The results of Duel 2, that's going to be the outside row. But a big wreck in Duel 2 ends up determining who makes the Daytona 500. Duel 1, a dull race with an exciting finish. We'll see how the Daytona 500 is on Sunday. I will make my preview on Saturday. You guys will get to see my full thoughts on the race. I will pick my winner. We're going to talk about today as well, because the racing, it was a little sketchy at times, and I think that could play a factor into the race on Sunday when it comes to wrecks and hitting someone the wrong angle. I think Sunday could be a little bit of a crash fest, especially near the end. But we'll talk about all that on Saturday, and then, of course, Sunday, the Daytona 500. That's all I got for the duels. Hope you guys enjoyed this. As I said, we're going to talk about the Daytona 500 the rest of the weekend. See you guys Saturday.